Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Thank you for staying with us. We're still covering the Edo State governorship elections. Now, Dr. Obire is the president of the Nigerian Thought Project, and he joins the conversation now. Good to have you on this special broadcast, Doctor.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, then thank you for being here.
Good morning.
If you could please give us an overview of, what your personal view of what has transpired, across different polling stations yesterday, overnight, especially regarding the overall conduct of the elections. Were there any significant incidents or irregularities that stood out for you?
Well, the election was keenly contested, and from the feelers we have from the field, you can see that even the people of Edo, they were prepared, and they were ready to go into an election without much fracas. The election was relatively peaceful. There were no records of serious incidents that would have marred the election one way or the other. And from even the three major candidates in the election, they were all satisfied with what actually happened yesterday. In their various polling units, they were able to vote. We have issues of some incidents where beavers malfunctioned, but they were taken care of. INEC, on their part, I think they were able to have some significant improvement in this election. Because it's an off-season election, we expected INEC to even do more, because they had the ample time to prepare for the elections. And going from the reports we saw yesterday, there were peaceful process taking place across all polling stations. So I am sure that by the end of today, we'll be able to know who is going to be the next governor of Edo State in the next 4 years.
I'm not sure if you were able to listen into the press conference by the People's Democratic Party. I'd love your thoughts on that, especially given that, they are accusing INEC of improper conduct. Aswe Godalo there said that by the end of the election, it will be the worst election that Nigeria has ever witnessed. He claimed that, he had over 20 polling unit results, and the numbers do not tally. What do you make of that press conference?
Well, it's expected in an election, most especially when you feel that the outcome is not actually favorable to you. It's not the first time this kind of thing is actually happening. This is where we politicians need to come out to accept results, because sometimes we overflog these issues. If INEC, let's assume that these results that are coming out are favorable or in favor of PDP, I am very, very sure that they will be singing the praise of INEC today. So it's a normal thing. They are having a feeler which might not be right, because INEC has not actually announce the results for the elections. So this preempting the situation only shows that probably they are scared of the outcome of the election, or they have authentic evidence against INEC. So it still boils down to waiting till the outcome of the entire process. So I think the press conference is a bit too early when the results have not been officially announced by INEC.
All right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, Dr. Obire. I was actually going to bring in KK to also weigh in on what we just saw on television, because momentarily, it looked like it was like an announcement of results. Okay, so clarifications came after that, oh, this was to highlight what people needed to know before the intervention of INEC. But then the manner in which the press conference itself ended looked like there's a tinge of desperation there. And part of the worry that I would like you to address will be having the Adamawa State Governor, Governor Fintiri, there leading the charge at that press conference. Isn't that rather ironic, given what he personally experienced last year during his own elections and what transpired that the REC had to take off, and there was hula baloo, etc. Barely 1.5 years after, this is Governor Fintiri, leading an announcement in quote right in the middle of an election collation process. What are your thoughts, KK?
Absolutely, Steve. The irony couldn't have been more glaring than what is playing out, And I particularly thank you for that background, I think at this point, this is a very critical hour in the whole process, I think all the players, all the parties, the candidates interested who have a stake, in the election, will ensure that the process is concluded. That is, nothing should be done to make the election to be inconclusive. Yeah, and it's also clear, that it's also important to stress that all parties should also play according to the rules. This process is governed by law. There are rules. There is the Electoral Act is there. INEC has its rules of its conduct. And all these are, of course, are known to anybody who is involved in the process, as a candidate, as a party member, even as a supporter. Should be well aware, of the rules. So the appeal will be that, regardless of how deeply aggrieved anybody may feel, that the rule should be complied with, and that is what is in the interest. And again, just like you said, we should not mystify this matter. In that same Edo State, elections had been conducted there, the declaration made, and it was upturned. And we have witnessed it in several other places. So if anybody has any dispute, some of the things that, these are things that, if depending on, in any case, nobody should also be presumptive, Wait for INEC to conclude the process. Yeah. And the law provides that whatever INEC is, you have there is the provision, for dispute that you can go. And if you have, depending on the weight of evidence that you have, you can go to the tribunal and prove it, and it will be adjudicated, So if you are, because it's good that the governor of Adamawa is talking about civilization, that we should be civilized. I think the civilized thing to do is to follow the law, So and nothing should be done to give the impression that because of interest in the election, that we can play according to the rule of the jungle, No, so the law should be complied with. People. We cannot say yet what INEC would declare. And if it is declared, if any party has a very strong case for dispute, then you should follow the law and pursue it. I think that is what is in the interest of democracy, and the people of Edo State. Yeah.
Well, in watching, that press conference, there's a statement that was made by Governor Godwin Obaseki talking about what had transpired yesterday when he went to the polling to the INEC, HQ, and then the reason why he actually went was because the PDP agents were not let in to the space, and then he now had to go there and call the REC and call the IGP, and it was all that back and forth, which brings me back to the question I asked you earlier, Mr. Keke, about the Edo REC being Wike's cousin. It's something that has come up multiple times. There's already that back and forth between both parties. So if we now have someone like that that is serving as an INEC official, don't you think that it adds to the the drama or the controversy that is already on ground?
See, it's a non-issue. The mere fact that you are an electoral officer in Nigeria doesn't mean that you don't have relations, you don't have friends, you don't have old classmates, you don't have, if that rule is going to be applied, then nobody will be qualified to serve as an electoral officer in Nigeria, because you are part of the society. So at every level, whether you are a REC or a chairman of INEC or you are a director of INEC or whatever, definitely you have relations. So what you should insist upon is that INEC should conduct the election according to the rules. It should be transparent, it should be fair, And if you have if you have a strong case that INEC has not done that, you could go ahead. So the question of, in any case, what I can't really see is Wike a candidate in the Edo election? If anything, Wike is a member of PDP. Wike is a member of PDP. At least what is the yes? No, I'm just telling you. Wike officially, officially is the same a member of PDP. But he has said that he will support. It will support APC candidate. Yes. That is a political issue. What I'm saying is a non-issue. That if it's an issue, it will not be a question of media war. Then if INEC has done anything wrong in the appointment, then somebody should go to court, and determine it. And that is why nobody is talking of the legal process. Because I'm saying that if you expand it, make it very elastic.
I think it's the morality of it that the Edo State governor has hammered on more than any other thing.
Yes, that I'm saying that morally, yes, you could raise it. And I'm saying that if you also expand it, then nobody would serve as an electoral officer, because everybody is serving, anybody who is appointed.
Be connected to somebody.
We'll have a cousin, we have an uncle, we'll have a father, we'll have a mother, we have an old classmate, we have a friend, or whatever. So, and if you want to, then nobody will be qualified, to have it. So, but that is not to. That's not to discount the moral question, like Steve said, that's being raised. But for me, it's not a legal issue. Yeah.
We have Dr. Obire in Abuja as well. Would like for him to weigh in on this conversation, especially the fact that the governor of Adamawa State had announced those results. He actually said that he wasn't announcing them. He was just informing the public on the results that were collected in their polling units. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, OJ, that is preempting the outcome of the election. And it's an act of desperation. You don't do that. INEC has the responsibility, no matter what, to declare results. Not a governor who is a member of a campaign organization announcing results that have not been officially announced by the electoral body. So it's an act of desperation and a process to preempt the outcome of the result, which is not acceptable. I think it's high time politicians trust the process, because from what has been in the ring all over the years is when the results are in your favor, then INEC is the bride for that election. But when the result goes the other way, INEC is the worst thing that ever happened. before the results started coming out, yesterday, we noticed that every of the contestants and every of the party members that were interviewed, they all sang one song, that the election, the process is okay. There's no violence. Everywhere is calm, and everything is going on well. So all of a sudden now, the song is changing because the results have started coming out. I think it's a very wrong step. It's a very wrong step for Governor Fintiri to have started calling results that have not been officially announced by INEC.
All right. Dr. Obire, we would like to thank you very much for joining us on the morning show this morning.